31 years ago, visionary leaders embarked on an ambitious mission that would change the face of cancer care in this region forever. Last year, we resolved to make certain that that mission would continue. We set out to raise $25 million to expand our current facility. To date, we've received over $8.9 million, and pledges and gifts are coming in daily. We remain strongly committed to the need for this expansion. New patient referrals to the Harrington Cancer Center have increased by 25% over the past 12 months, placing additional burdens on our already crowded patient care areas. We continue our standing as the cancer center for this region, serving a patient need that continues to grow. Major donors have already shown their support in a very strong way, and now is the time for us to rally together as a community to show our support.
I came to Amarillo in December of '78 to start work January 1st. At that time, the architect had been chosen and the basic design of the facility had been chosen. What had not been done was raising the money that was going to be required. This cancer center was not just for Amarillo. It really was for all the people in this whole region, the 26 counties, plus eastern New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. I think the experience of what the Cancer Center has provided makes the best statement possible.
I came here 13 years ago to help set up the Bell helicopter facility. We knew we were going to be manufacturing and delivering a state-of-the-art aircraft. To do that, you've got to have really leading-edge personnel, and we were engaged in recruiting people from around the country to come here to Amarillo. And one of the things that people, of course, are looking at is what kind of medical care would they get if and when their families would need it. And being able to have a premier level facility is of paramount importance to us as a company and to us as a family.
One of the things that's great about the community of Amarillo is its medical center. And that was an attracting point when we came here and moved to Amarillo ourselves. So I think it's so important for the vitality of our community, the diversity of our economy, to keep that facility strong and growing.
You know, cancer affects everybody's family. It certainly has affected our family. And more I hear about friends and acquaintances and colleagues that have that dreaded disease. So it certainly does affect families. It's affected our folks here at Amarillo College and the entire community. We're so fortunate in Amarillo, first of all, to have a world-class medical center. And certainly a very, very important part of that for the past 30 years has been the Harrington Cancer Center. First-class treatment there, good people, caring people, lots of support for families and patients, and the opportunity to not have to go far away to have it done, you know, makes it even better.
The number of patients treated at Harrington Cancer Center is somewhat staggering. And in fact, in 2010, we had 60,000 patient visits come through the facility. And since inception in '81, there's been over 100,000 patients treated in that facility. And that shows there's a need.
My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1997. Of course, that was a shock for us because there's no history of cancer in her family background. So when we had the diagnosis, well, then we obviously sought treatment here at the medical center, and she did her radiation at Harrington. I'm always amazed at the medical center and how it came from an idea, and then how people in the panhandle of Texas, and especially Amarillo, joined together to bring that idea to fruition. Every year we will have some kind of medical costs because of cancer. So with that large a population, you're going to obviously have that. So it's great for us as an employer to have that treatment here, because that gives the employee a chance to continue to work.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I was notified while I was in a cabin in the Colorado mountains, and my sister called me to say they had confirmed that my dad had lung cancer in August of 2008. Subsequently, he was treated at Harrington, and you'd have to know Dad. He loved the people there. The doctors were all good, but it was past the doctors and past the nurses. It was just everybody there, from the guy that drove the golf cart to help pick him up, to the popcorn and just all the little things they do to make their patients welcome. Dad just loved everybody there. After you've had the treatments, they are very tough on you physically, emotionally, and then to have to go home, the last thing you want is a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hour trip back home, or have to stay somewhere that's not home where you feel comfortable. That comfort, that whole thing of being at home is what was important, and he was able to quickly go home. To kind of finish Dad's story, Dad passed away in June of 2009, and he wanted to die at home. So there's that home relationship that Harrington provides, that home being in Amarillo and being a place where he could get his treatment and could get taken care of as best as they could in Amarillo. You know, when you send men and women to war, the first thing you want to do is make sure they've got the right tools to fight the war. If they're given a 6-shooter to fire against tanks and that type of thing, they're not going to win. You've got to have the best tools. Harrington's been there for, I think, over 30 years now. And while it's doing a great job and it's the people inside that make it, they also need the right tools. And one of the things that Harrington needs right now is a new facility. That new facility gives them more opportunity to put new equipment, new processes, new procedures in, and that's what helps fight the war against cancer. And you've got to give those folks the right tools, the right facility to make it, give them the best opportunity to beat it. And that's what we all want to see, is cancer cured.
I think this campaign is very, very important, and we need to see the campaign as an addition to what is great work that's already been done and a great vision that's already been laid out. And 30 years from now, people will look back and call this effort something that was really needed and something that turned into be very beneficial for the Panhandle.
You know, our friends and our family, our entire community deserves absolutely the very best medical treatment that one can get.
We feel this campaign's important because so many people are dependent on the Harrington Cancer Center, and it's time. The facilities need the improvements, and we know there's going to be more cases of cancer in the future just because of the aging population.
If we want the best for ourselves and our families and our communities, then it requires that we all take a stand and that we all do our part.
We can't wait for the Don and Sybil Harringtons in the next generation. We all have to be those people. We all have to step up.
We continue to be inspired every day by our patients. Our friends, our neighbors, our coworkers from across this region are counting on us to be here for the next 30 years.